And now that we've agreed conflict will happen, how do we deal with it? But before I go to how we deal with it, I have to say that if you're in a physically abusive marriage or emotionally abusive marriage, get help. This is not for you. This is for people who are mutually agreed to live together. There is mutual respect. They love one another, but since they are human, conflict happens. So one of the ways that has worked for me is that once conflict happens or once you are aggravated, find a way as a person to regulate yourself. How do you calm down? How do you calm yourself down once you are angry? And this could differ with every personality. There is no standard way of doing it. Some read, some walk away, some just keep quiet. Whatever you do, find a way of preserving and fighting for your peace. Do not respond to a conflict in a moment of anger. And sometimes you could be in a situation whereby something has gone on for a long time. You've tried several times to communicate the issue and there is no change happening. In such cases, you need more drastic ways of regulating yourself. Step out, go be with your friends or share with someone else. Just make sure you're not responding from a point of anger. For myself, I find walking away from the situation until I calm down so that I do not talk negatively or use words that are going to hurt and be remembered and quoted, because words can hurt very deep. So if I respond in anger, chances are high that I will say words that I'll regret later. So I just prefer walking away. I've even spent a night at a hotel because I just felt the situation at home was just too hot. I could not handle being in that environment. So I just communicated with him. I've gone out, I'm spending the night here, and I'll see you tomorrow once I'm calmer. So find a way that works for you to regulate yourself, calm down, so that you face the situation when you're sober. Something else I've learned painfully is that time does not heal wounds. Time does not heal. It just covers. When you sweep things under the carpet, things may look okay, but that has not solved the situation. Take time out to calm down, then come and deal with the situation that has happened. And when you're dealing with it, do not blame or accuse one another. A common language that helps is that when you're trying to communicate the conflict, use I instead of we. Use I instead of you. For example, saying, I feel hurt when you do A, B, C, D. I feel aggravated when you do that. I feel disappointed when you do this and this. Rather than you hurt me when you do this. You disrespect me in this manner. When you use I, it's more communicate your needs of affection and your need of affection from your partner. But when you use you, you're using it as a weapon to stab them. You're telling them you're weak in this, you're bad in this, and that does not solve conflict at all. But one of the things that has helped me the most once I understood is that, you see, the way once you are angry and you are sure and by all standards he or she has done you wrong, and then you go to God and communicate whatever you are feeling. I learned that the way God loves me as a person and the way God forgives me, the way he has walked with me through the errors I have done knowingly, the mistake out of stupidness, the things I've done, mistakes I've done because I did not know better, but God healed me and gave me another chance. The way God is my father, he's also God over my husband. So the way God loves me and forgives me readily and wants me to change for the better, that's the same way he is with him. So I can't be going to God saying that huyu mtoto wako amefanya hivi na amefanya hivi and he's bad. But God is like, yes, amefanya, I know it has hurt you, but you can't ask me to stop loving him, because I still want the best out of him. I still want him to learn that is wrong and even do better. I know there is potential in him to do better. The same way I've believed in you in your darkest areas, I also believe in him that greatness is still in him. He can still do better. He can be the best husband in the world for you. So once I learned that I am not better than him, and when it comes to God, that God loves us equally, and the same grace God has given me to fall and rise, God still gives him the same grace to rise and fall, and also accept him even when he's in the deepest of places, that God still loves him and will do everything. You send his grace to get him out of that place. So I don't go to God accusing him. I just go to God saying, I feel this and your son has done this and this to me and I feel totally aggravated. Please send your spirit to deal with him, because I do not know how to deal with it. And that has been a game changer for me. Conflict is not me against him, that it's me and him against the problem. I learned that me and him are a team against the problem. Maybe we've said it's coming home late, or the way someone talks, or their attitude towards your situation. The attitude is the problem, not your partner. So do not blame your partner. Always when conflict happens, when you approach conflict for the two of you to deal with it, think of it as you as a team against the problem. Your partner is a gift from God. He is never your problem. So as I finish, maybe what are some of the practical ways I've used to help navigate at the heat of the moment when conflict has occurred, is that once, create beforehand an environment that is conducive, that allows the two of you to have a conversation as mature adults without blaming one another and without calling each other names or abusing one another, or even reminding, bringing the past back together, back to this conflict. Just have an environment that is safe for you to discuss. Could be wherever you are, just say this and this has happened, and it should be open, that anytime there's a conflict, you don't have to wait for days for it to happen. Your home should already be safe. The company, the two of you, the friendship that you have should already be safe enough that once you feel something is not going on well, you can communicate it. And I say once you feel, because conflict mostly, as you said, it's unmet expectations, so you're the one who feels it first. So communicate immediately. Do not wait for a long time for it to happen. The other thing is that if it's something that is deep, get a location. If you can have a neutral location to discuss it, that's well and good. Don't use your date night. You can find maybe a hotel or just an open space where you can go and just discuss without interruption from other people, and just discuss that this is the issue we are having on the table and we're going to deal with it as a team, see how it has affected us and how we are going to overcome it, and even move forward with it. The stronger person helping the one who is weaker in that area. In conflict, you realize that 90% of the areas that are of conflict in your marriage, every other couple, in fact 95%, every other couple in the world is going through them. And so keeping your conflict fun has also been a way that releases tension when you're dealing with it. For me, I find TikTok videos being very interesting when they are talking about a situation that has been a challenge in our marriage. So for example, there is one that is going on around right now that says, the husband says that, dude, out of the 365 days I've asked my wife for sex every day, but I've only gotten it 40 times. The other day she gave reasons like it's too early, it's too late, it's too cold, it's too hot, I am tired, the reasons that happen even in my scenario. So once you see it being dramatized in a fun way, that just relieves the tension, and knows that, and you know that whatever you're going through is not really unique to you, it's everyone else is going through. So keep the fun going even when conflict happens. And then, but when conflict is beyond the two of you, always seek help. Avoid silent treatment, avoid building a wall, because it will come back to bite when you need the other person the most. So do not lock out the channels of communication. Keep them open. Anything and everything that has happened in your marriage can be dealt with, can be solved. And conflict, once you deal with conflict, once you're able to overcome conflict, your marriage becomes better. Every time we've overcome a challenge in our marriage, even one that has lasted for a whole year, once we are done with it, our marriage becomes stronger and even more fresher, and we get to enjoy each other's company even more. So conflict are a normal part of life. Just learn how to navigate them. Thank you.